Hey guys, so it's your girl Skylar, and I'm officially taking over the podcast for Skank Planet for just a little bit. I got a little permission, of course, before taking it because I did not know. I don't know if I just had permission or not. So I asked the founder first. So yeah, this will be considered, I guess, episode 3. We had multiple episodes before, they weren't recorded, and so they're considered unofficial, but there is 2 official episodes on my YouTube channel, which you could actually look inside the video playlist. I'm also going to link in the bio potentially the other hosts or co-hosts to the series, because they also have versions of the podcast on their channel, as well as run their own personal content, which I think is pretty damn cool. So today is just going to be just a check-in. So I just want to ask, how are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are having an amazing, blessed day. So it is March 18th, 2024, and outside is pretty nice. I love the weather. Just wanted to see how my boys and gals doing, my she hers, my hims, and my they thems. Just want to check in, see how you guys are doing. There isn't much of a story time today. Maybe we'll think about it. Actually, you know what? Let's just season today. Let's hail the new episode. Instead of just like cutting this short, we're going to do a couple segments. The first segue is going to be a spontaneous story time about me today. The next segue is going to be how can you learn to relax. We're just going to give some advice, some tips on that. And of course, I'm going to just briefly discuss where I plan on taking the podcast going forward, considering all things that the host or the original founder of the series wanted it to be. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, let's just talk about this first story time. So if you guys are new to my channel, hi, I'm Skylar, and I am currently a barista at Starbucks. I will not give a location. However, for those who know me, will know where I do work and are very self-aware of the environment, which I love and also kind of hate. So today, what I wanted to talk about is masks. Can we not address the fact that we wear masks because we don't want to spread nothing, right? Like in most countries, especially heavily populated countries, like sometimes Asian countries or even India, places where it's heavily populated, it's not uncommon to see people wearing a mask, right? And since recently, 2 years ago, we've had an outbreak of COVID-19, which clearly we overcame as a society, but we still wear masks because it is still as prevalent, and you always want to be sure and safe for yourself. So it has dawned on me, I'm at work and I notice that there's people who wear masks. They keep them on halfway. What's the point? Like, what exactly is the point to do that? Like, you are wearing a mask because you're trying to stay safe, yet you put your mask only halfway up on your face. Like, the mask is not like a magical potion or shield that gives you an invisibility shield against diseases. You actually have to wear it. It's not an equipped item like in a fucking RPG game. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I wanted to point out was just today I saw this guy who was coughing right next to my store, and I swear to God, I'm looking to my right and I could not believe it. The guy had his mask completely down, so he was basically defeating the purpose behind the mask and literally was just coughing into the air, just spreading the love, right? And it just dawned on me, just the stupidity behind that. It just doesn't make sense to me. That's what I wanted to talk. I don't know. That's just what I wanted to talk about, honestly. I just think stay safe and keep your mask on properly. Just stop doing that. It's nasty. And if you're going to not wear your mask and you're still going to cough and sneeze anyways, please just have the courtesy to cough and sneeze inside your arms. That's nasty. I've had a time where a customer literally came up to my counter, sneezed basically in front of me. And I swear to God, I put my arms up. I stepped 2 feet away from the damn register and I walked out of the damn store. Because I I can't afford to get sick. That's just nasty. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my story time. So yes. So let's get into the second segue. So for the second segue, what I mean by relaxation tips. Well, recently my therapist, who I'm not going to name, but I will say I am not being sponsored. I am not being endorsed by them in any shape or form, but I am getting help from a platform called Talkspace, which, by the way, I think is a great platform for you to get a lot of access to therapy and one-on-one sessions with your therapist. You also can have 24/7 access to your therapist via the messaging chat as well, which is extremely amazing. I love it. It worked for me, and I believe it could really work for you as well. I've been using it now for 2 years. It also connects well with your insurance. It accepts most main insurances, which means that it doesn't come out of pocket, hypothetically speaking. And you don't have to worry too much about not being able to afford your next session, which really allows you to just really focus on your mental health overall. So back to the segment. So yes, here's what we're going to talk about. Breathing patterns, right? A lot of times you might get stressed. And I think it's important to relax and think what you're thinking or feeling, while it might be valid, it's important to calm down and to process your emotions and thoughts. Because I think it's very easy. It's easy for you to get lost and wrapped up in whatever you're thinking about, that you completely are devoided of really like what's going on for you, right? So what does that mean? What do I mean when I say this, right? For instance, say you went to work today, you had a hard day, and your coworker is making your life a living hell. Well, don't stress too much about it. Sit down, close your eyes, and just breathe. Go home, find a nice quiet place to sit down and close your eyes, and I want you to just breathe, right? So breathe in for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4, and do it again. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. By practicing this square method, it really helps to bring down your heart rate, helps you to focus on yourself and your breathing pattern. This allows you to not really focus on, what is stressing you, and it allows you to, when you do think about it, to really process it rather than just having a flamboyant reaction to it, which I think this really helps. And I'm really thankful to my therapist because this thing really has helped me quite a lot. And I'm hoping it helps you too. So the third segue today is we're going to be talking about, why do I have this podcast? Why was this podcast made? Who is the founder, and what I intend to probably do with this shit in the future. Right. So this podcast is initially called Skank Planet. I will still be keeping the title at Skank Planet, and its initial meme and or phrase is just simple as it is: a place for messy hoes and gals and the gays. That's all it is. I'm going to keep it that way because I love it that way, and it is the original way the series is well known for. Why do I have it? Right. So I have this podcast because I feel like I want to take it into an interesting direction. We only have 2 episodes, and it's a little bit painstaking to get multiple hosts to coordinate their time and schedule to really create new episodes. And I feel like some of the hosts who do have free time should record episodes on their own and really allow the series to grow, even if we can't have collaborations or collabs more regularly weekly on a weekly basis, even if it's bi-weekly or monthly. Right. Who is the founder? Well, the founder is no other than Eli, as affectionately I know him. But his full name is Elijah Brahmi. Hi, by the way, if you're listening. He designed this podcast because he wanted to create a place where we can just express ourselves, talk any shit that possibly can get us canceled anyways, and allow us to really just breathe and just to be ourselves in every way possible. He also created the podcast as a place for us to, as he likes to affectionately say, keep it messy, talk about shit, throw shade at people. It's just supposed to be a funny ass game. Unfortunately, the series never really had an organized segue, so I will be taking it into that direction. What do I intend on doing with it in the future? I will for sure be creating segues for sure. I will be editing an intro for the series, and I will be inviting guests onto the podcast as well, preferably people that are interesting, people who are part of the LGBTQ community, people who are part of the entrepreneurship community, people who are interested in investing, stocks, as well as things like chess, who are also finance nerds, basically just highly obsessed. Basically, that's just what I want to take the direction. I had a side series that was part of my company. My company name was Troxel Marketplace. The company still exists and the website is still active. Unfortunately, we're not taking orders at this time, as I have yet to renew my LLC, and I have yet to start up production as well. But if you look on the website, you'll see there's a series where I do talk about how to save money, how to penny pinch. That will be a lot of little things I do want to take this podcast through. I do want to take this podcast into a very intellectual, very self-learning process, without it just being like totally disorganized. So going forward, the next few episodes will be about saving, investing, talking about biology. Could be talking about things such as my transition as a trans woman in today's society, how I got to get here, how did hormones work, what is surgery. We'll talk about a lot of trans rights, trans issues going along today, hot takes on trans issues as well, things that people in the community might not want to talk about, but we are going to talk about them here. And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. So yeah, this is a great way to start, I believe, the podcast, and I cannot wait to have all of you guys subscribed and get a chance to hear an amazing series that has been finally being revived, because I will be taking it over for just a bit. It is not mine, and I will make sure that is quite clear. I do not own rights to this because I did not make this up. However, it is mine in the sense of the segues, intros, and style and design of how I plan on moving it forward, but the initial idea and concept is not mine. What we will try to do in the future is we will make sure that for the series, me and a lot of people that's going to be helping me, we're going to make sure that it is family and basically people safe. We're going to make sure to blur out faces if needed, and we're not going to be using names in any of our story times, just because we want it to be a learning opportunity and not a way to throw shade. I also want to state that the original podcast that I have created, which is the LYS podcast, has been temporarily put on hold, and you will know, I might notice on my channel, that all the series have been taken down. However, it is not fully gone. It is actually put under private, and it will become available in due time. Because I'm focusing on Skank Planet, this is going to be our version of rebranding the entire series. And I look forward to seeing where I can take this to go. I will bring back LYS podcast because I do like to have my own concept. However, rebranding this series is extremely important, being that we have a lot of information on it as well. So, while I have you guys, let's talk about episode 1 and 2. If you probably have been around for a while, you know that in the first episode, you will have co-hosts Mango, Eli, and your girl, no other than Skylar Rose herself. You'll know that we took it over. We are a friend group in real life. We have fun. We love each other. We are the best of all three things. And if you pay attention to the first episode, you'll know we like to throw shade at each other. It's all love, obviously. And in the first episode, it is quite apparent and quite clear that the series is really to kind of give a bold yet subtle look into not only our friendship, but really all the fun shit we do together, which is just entertaining for a lot of people, honestly. Episode 2. Episode 2 here is not too much. Episode 2 is finally a little bit organized. We do have an intro, and I do believe there's more segments, and we did incorporate a lot of hot takes. It's less about just us talking about random shit, and it's more organized, which I'm happy to see. Hopefully, I will try to organize it in such a way that it's much more neater. I'll try to regularly upload episodes every day, which means they're going to be much shorter. They're not going to be as long as an hour long because it doesn't make sense. In my opinion, it does make sense to keep them at 20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes. That way, each episode could have an opportunity to be like individually speaking, can be addressed and put a lot of effort. I think if we put each episode at over almost an hour long, it just doesn't make sense, and it really takes away a lot from the series overall. So an example of today, because we still have some time on the clock here at 4 minutes for the series, I must have moved a little quickly here. I'm going to just talk a little bit more about myself and what is to come in the next episode, because this one's just more of an introduction. So again, hi, my name is Skylar Rose Duncan, or legally Skylar Rose Ryuko Duncan. And oh my god, not my like coughing, right, about to cough. I am officially the host and temporary owner of the series Skank Planet. I am a trans girl of New York, and I am currently a college student, and I'm hoping that we can take this podcast to greater heights. I'm hoping to utilize this podcast as a way to not only blow off some steam, but hopefully to go into depth about my life, because I think it's pretty damn cool. So, without further ado, I am also going to address a couple things about where I want to put the next episode. The next episode is I'm going to talk a lot about investing and why it's important to save for the future. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, and the episode is not going to specifically give you any kind of direct advice, but rather, general concepts, general knowledge in the area. Everything that I do point out in the episode should be and is officially known as entertainment, and nothing I say or do should be taken literally, obviously. So yes, I am excited for this next episode for sure. So people would probably ask, what does that mean for my current subscribers? Nothing too much. I do feel like people who are currently subscribed, you could get a little shout outs, or people that we have been along with us for the journey for quite some time will get their chance to have a debut as a guest on our show. Also, if you want to become a guest for my show, we will be putting a work email that my friend is going to be putting together. You can send a very nicely worded email with your contact information, your credentials, specifically just like what can you provide to an episode, what about you would be valuable to the next episode, and if you're lucky, we will choose you as the next guest. Bear in mind, we are still in the early phases of this, so bear in mind I will not be able to address every single email, and I will not be always picking someone from the subscribe list. I have a lineup of people already who are willing to play as the guests for our series. So really and truly, you know, it's going to be a very once in a while thing we do, but when we do, we'll make sure to let the person know that we pick then and there, and we will give everyone a fair shot to our best ability. Can't make promises in that department. So yeah, I'm really excited. I hope you guys are, and stay sexy, and remember, love yourself, and thank God to another time and month for Skank Planet because it's finally going to be revived. I hope I see you guys in the next episode. Bye.